Hey guys, and welcome back for another video. We're going to talk about a very serious topic, and it's colorism. So we've touched on that a few different times on this channel. Being a fair-skinned, I guess you could say, black person, you think you're this, you think you're that, and your hair this, your hair that, and it's like, whatever. At the end of the day, like, rather than telling people how they should feel, or you assume they are based upon what they look like, why don't you actually get to know them and see how they are individually? This video kind of hit home because even though I don't exactly go through in particular what this woman is dealing with, I know what it's like to feel like you're not good enough for your parent. So it's so important to instill good and positive things in your children. And I myself definitely have to remember that because, you know, just because you're feeling emotional or having a rough day doesn't mean that you can take it out on your children either. She feels ugly because she's dark skinned, but I can relate in the sense that sometimes you do have a parent that you can't please. Dealing with colorism on the other side of the spectrum isn't exactly easy either. If you're here, like and subscribe, leave me a comment, make sure you tell me what you think. But yeah, let's get into this.
I can say that nothing their loved ones can say will change the fact that they feel trapped inside hideously ugly faces and bodies. Our next guest, Alicia, says that in her case, the reason she feels so ugly is because her mom, Essie, made her feel that way. Alicia, tell us your story.
Actually, all my life I felt ugly because of my dark complexion. When I was younger, my mom would make differences between my sister and I. She would dress us in outfits that were similar and alike, but she would comment on how pretty or nice she looked, but I never got the same comments. And also in school, when we were referred to, we would both get in trouble. And when I get in trouble, she get in trouble too. They would refer to me as the dark one instead of the light one. And my mom would also compare us to the point to where she would discipline me harsher than she would my sister.
And you think it's because of the your skin coloring?
Well, yeah, she would make comments on the fact that I reminded her of my dad.
Okay, I'm just gonna stop it really quick. First of all, that's ignorant as freak for the school to do that, and certainly for her parents to make her feel that way as well. I can honestly say that she's actually very attractive. She's beautiful in my opinion. She looks like she has a good weight and very well spoken. And I mean, it looks like she's very well kept. Her hair looks nice. Like, and I think it's her hair. It's not some weave or anything. You know, not that I judge people for wearing weaves. It's just one of those things where wear what you want. But at the end of the day, if you can make your own hair rock, you know, to me, kudos to you. So.
Dad was dark complected too, and she disliked him and took it out on me to the point and said she, you know, disliked me because I look like my dad.
Well, now that you're a grown woman, can you see a beautiful woman when you look in the mirror?
Yes, I do, but it's still the negative comments reflect on me to the point to where I put those negative comments towards my daughter. With her being light complected and with her, I, you know, be offended when she decides to date lighter skinned people other than just dark people.
So what is it you want to say to your mom today, because she's here?
I wanted to tell my mom that I'm tired of her making differences between me and my sister, that dark is pretty, and that I feel that she should treat me as if I'm her daughter too, and not just compare the colors of what, you know, my sister being light, me being dark.
You know what, fair enough. Let's hear what your mom has to say. Come on out, Essie.
I'm just going to stop it really quick to say that I honestly was shocked when I saw the mom because she's lighter than her daughter, but it's not like she's light skinned or anything. Like, I'm expecting this, like, super white person to walk out. I mean, she's calling her daughter dark skinned. And first of all, her daughter, in my opinion, is not that dark. Like, she's dark skinned, but you wouldn't be like, oh my God, she's so dark. Like, you know what I mean? I remember going to Canada and, like, that was probably the only time that I've ever seen, like, actual black people. Like, these people were actually black. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, the black people here that I've seen in America, brown skin, different shades, you know, whether it be light or darker or caramel, whatever. And like I said, I'm not judging them or anything because they were beautiful people at the end of the day. But I just, like I said, it was like a double take moment because, like I said, I've never seen actual black people, like people that were the color black. It's just weird when people that aren't dark are being called dark skin, and then you have people like her mom who aren't even light judging somebody else for being dark, and you're like, what, a tenth of a shade lighter than this girl? Like, really? Stop.
Hi, Essie. Come on over. Have a seat. Were you listening backstage?
Oh, yes.
Do you feel like you treated your children differently based on the color of their skin?
No.
You honestly don't remember saying these things to her, or is she just making this up?
Some of it she's making up. No, no. When I was growing up with my mom, my son, when I was carrying my older son, she would tell me the comment that she wished my son was not dark. She didn't want a dark grandbaby. And that affected me.
Well, tell her, how did that affect you?
It made me feel unloved. Yeah. It made me feel you didn't accept me for being a dark-skinned daughter instead of the bright daughter.
How could I not accept you? I had you, Alicia. So you can't fault me for that.
But you kept making differences and comparing me to my sister, and you always chose my sister over me.
No.
But do you realize, Mom, that she would rub her face with a scouring pad to try to lighten her skin?
No.
You didn't know that?
No.
Do you hear her, Mom? No. That indignant, like, had no parts of this. I have no idea what she's talking about. Like, you do realize that she's saying that you said these things, did these things, X, Y, Z, and you're going to sit here and be like, no. Why would she be on TV crying right now in front of all these people lying on you? I guess when you are a person of color, you kind of do see the world differently than a person who's white, because white is just accepted right away. You know, especially if you're white and you have money and you're attractive, you are good all across the boards. Now, if you may be a little overweight and white, you may know what we're talking about. If you may be poor and you're white, you may know what we're talking about, because you're going to have people judging you too. But even if you have money, even if you are attractive as a person of color, you're judged. I work with women that are, different shades, and we're all black at the end of the day, but there are different shades. There have been instances where you got that feeling where someone just was racist a little bit. Like, I've worked with girls that were straight up white, and I've seen, the white girls work with the black girls in situations, and I've seen like people come into stores and just be like, the black woman can speak to her, hello, and it's like you would assume that you as the customer would go up to that counter, but they'll just like immediately go to the person that they deem as white, even if they're not looking at them. You know what I mean? It's just, I've seen situations, I've been in situations like that, and it definitely makes you think that it could be a race thing, because it's like, what other reason would it be? It's just weird for me to sit here and watch a black woman who is not that much lighter than her daughter. It's not, like I said, it's not like she's sitting up here light skinned, or even like you would even think her appearance is racially ambiguous whatsoever. You're sitting up here looking like, you're black, your daughter's black, what difference is there? And why would you mistreat her for being slightly darker than you? Like, slightly. Like, and she's, to me, like I said, not even that dark skinned. So this is weird.
Lauren, you have a theory on this.
Yes, well, this stems from very deep-rooted issues in the African-American culture and community. It stems from slavery.
They're all going,
Yeah, it is. And these issues are very alive and well. I see many African-American sisters and brothers in the audience going, yeah, because we've all grown up with that. We live in a society dominated by white media, white images, and therefore we're bombarded with this notion that whatever is closest to white is right. Now, the problem is that we then...
I hate to say it and use this as an example. I hate to even interrupt her, because she was making a very great point, but I bring it up to say, yes, she's definitely right in the sense that, we're told that white is right, and so what's closer to it is so-called more accepted and things like that, even to the point where so many of our women, even if they are wearing their natural hair, they're not exactly wearing their hair in its natural state. But maybe they've done a relaxer. Now, if you can get your hair pinned straight like that without a relaxer, hey, kudos to you, and at the end of the day, that's probably the best way to do it. But if you have to use a relaxer, that definitely damages your hair. And I recommend not doing that. And I definitely don't recommend wearing a lot of sew-ins or weaves really often either. You should definitely try to rock your own hair as often as you can. And if you just have to keep it braided, whatever, do that. Because doing, obviously, perms, doing a lot of different weaves and sew-ins, it puts a lot of strain and damage on your hair. If your hair can't physically breathe, it's not getting the sunlight that it needs. And believe it or not, the sunlight has a lot of vitamins that we can't naturally get from just taking it in a pill. These are vitamins that you have to get naturally from the earth. If your hair is covered up all the time, you're not able to get that. We do, as Black women, have to wear our natural hair, but we shouldn't also do so much damage to our hair trying to press it out. And trust me, I was a part of the press your hair out all the time club too. Now I'm just like, whatever, as you can see in a lot of my videos. But that's why my hair is long and healthy. And that's what we want at the end of the day. Because it doesn't matter how frizzy and how crazy it is. It's long, it's thick, it's healthy. And that's what makes your hair beautiful, not the state that it's in. Having super straight hair can be pretty, but it's not something that you want to do all the time. Having your hair covered up and with wigs and using glue around your edges, things that will definitely destroy the follicles of your scalp, definitely not recommended. The best way to wear your hair is in its natural state. But it's just really weird that like the Kevin Samuels, like accountability is like kryptonite to women, you know, and it's like you're just sitting here seeing the mother just deny everything, like her daughter just making it all up, like at this point. So she's just on TV crying, looking you square dead in your eyes, lying to you about what you did and said as she was young and what she remembers, and you're just gonna sit here and just be like, yeah, didn't happen. Like I have no idea what she's talking about.
As a community, have to overcome those things and fight those racial standards and work to make sure that our brown children feel just as beautiful as our white children.
And you know, Essie, can you? I mean, she has been affected, whether you were conscious in what you were saying or not. She's crying up here because of what she experienced as a child. Is there anything you want to say to your daughter?
I've always told Alicia that she was beautiful. I always told her, I've always supported Alicia in everything that she went to do. She can tell you that. For as some of the stuff that she's saying, I didn't know it affected her like that. I don't remember telling her that something about the color of her skin.
Are you sorry if you did say
yes,
anything?
I'm sorry, but it's not my fault. I'm not going to sit here.
Oh, I don't like when people do that. I'm sorry. I hate when people say, yeah, I'm sorry, but it's not my fault. Like, I'm going to say I'm sorry, but I really don't mean it because I didn't do this. That's basically what she's saying. That is the worst apology ever. And that's why her daughter's just going to be like, really, Mom? Like, you're going to sit here and deny and say you don't remember anything that you said, even though I can tell you, like, verbatim stories about how you dressed me and my sister alike, and you told her she was pretty and not me, and made a comment on the fact that she was lighter than me.
And take the, you know, the blame for her feeling that way because, you know, I don't feel like I did that.
Alicia, all you can do is express how you feel, and I hope that you feel better in all this. At least you were
I
heard.
hope she feels better about it because I don't, you know, recall all this negative because her brother is dark as she is, and I'm not light. But that's why I'm saying, you know, I don't know why that should affect her like that.
She did say, like, hey, I'm not light, and her brother's the same color. Why isn't he up here basically saying it? Well, because women and men process things differently, ma'am. In case you haven't noticed a difference between, I, for one, can speak from personal experience. There is definitely a difference in dealing with a female baby, toddler, child versus male. Everything we do as parents is being absorbed by our children of both genders, first of all, but certainly by your female child, because your female child is emulating you ultimately. And if you want her to be a stand-up person at the end of the day and be who she needs to be in society, you have to demonstrate that. And if you want her to be a good mother and be supportive and nurturing to her children, then you have had to be that when she was a child. So sometimes people can grow up and change and learn different ways and do what they need to do. And sometimes they pick up horrible patterns from their parents and repeat those. And so we as adults, we have to look at the things our parents did to us or said to us, and we have to make sure that we are different. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think. Thank you so much for watching. If you have made it this far, leave me that blue heart. And guess what, guys? I'll see you next time.